Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys our album review of The Great Heathen Army by Amon Amarth. We've been listening to this album non-stop over and over and over and over, and I'll take the floor to say that it's really good. Overall, I enjoyed it throughout the week, and this is the kind of band where we do hold to a pretty high standard considering what they're capable of and what their best albums are. And that's one thing I was considering when trying to figure out like how much I really enjoyed this album, because you know, this is the fourth time we've reviewed this band on the channel. I think it's the most reviewed band like because of this fourth album.
Album-wise, yeah.
I think so. So, you know, I try to think of it as a reference to other albums we reviewed, and honestly, I would say this is in the upper tier. It's the kind of album where a few songs really stuck out to me a lot that I enjoyed quite a bit, and then like pretty much everything else is either good or better. Now there are three main songs that really stood out to me as the absolute best. First one, Get in the Ring, which is the first track on the album. One of the singles, we did react to it, cool video. This song is so badass. Like, and I think a part of why I liked the song as much as I did throughout the week is because I was just picturing the video and how cool the video was. You know, it's just a fight, you know, like all the fighting, the combat, super badass. And I think the song does a really good job at conveying that. You know, I think it does a good job at giving you fuel for those visuals. So I guess they did a really good job at applying those visuals for the video, but the song definitely fits super duper well for that. The next one, and I think you'll probably agree with this one, is Saxons and Vikings, which is a song that we talked about this a little bit throughout the week, that really feels like a collaboration song, not really a feature. You know, it feels more like it's a song where two bands made it together as opposed to one band featuring another band or singer or whatnot. And honestly, with how, you know, you got Biff and Johan both kind of singing their own sides of the Saxons and Vikings, like it makes me want to see a music video for this song. How sick would that be?
That'd be rad. Having
them both against each other like that. Super badass. Makes me just wish, like, if they're gonna do another video for this album, please choose that song. But it's got great energy. It just feels great when you listen to the whole thing, you know? It's and that's one of the biggest things about this band is, can you groove to it? This band is centered around the riffs. That's their main thing. That's really, when you want to consider how good an Amon Amarth album is, are the riffs good? That's the number one thing. Are the riffs good and memorable? And that, I think, is a big part of it. Because there's a few Amon Amarth albums we've checked out where it's like, yeah, it's got a few good songs, but the rest are just like, But with this album, I think the highest points are really high and the rest of them are still pretty notable. The other song for me that really stood out the most was Skagul Rides With Me, which is the song right after Saxons and Vikings, and it's for that exact reason. The riff gets stuck in my head, and it did ever since I heard it for the first time, and I loved it every time I heard the song. So it's a really cool combo, you know, those two songs back to back, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, so I enjoyed this album too, listening to it throughout the week. Good old Amon Amarth, right? But picture this, if you will. You look up at the night sky. Big, clear, beautiful night sky. You're panning your vision around. You see the empty blackness of space. And then you see this one twinkling star. And it's a bright star. And it shines very bright. That star is Saxons and Vikings. The rest of the album is this night sky. I feel like this song is so good that it overshadows it by contrast, almost makes the rest of the album sound bad. That's not to say it sounds bad, but in contrast, right? You gotta use my words, listen to my words carefully. This song is so good that every time I put the album on, I wanted to start with Saxons and Vikings. When I got in the car, when I put it on headphones, when I did anything, I was listening to this album, I wanted to start with Saxons and Vikings, because this song, I didn't want to miss the chance to listen to this song again. If you remember from our first impressions last week, I said that Saxons and Vikings went into my playlist before I had even finished listening to it. That was the truth. And I don't remember ever doing that with the song before. The song is just epic on another level, and only 50% credit goes to Amon Amarth for that, because it's such a collaboration between two bands. like TV Fish was saying, it's not just, a guest appearance that does one verse. It's, Amon Amarth does a verse, then Saxon does a verse, and then they trade it on the same verse. And it's just a really cool dynamic that you do not see hardly ever in this type of music. So it's awesome because I love the song, but it's also unfortunate because it just, for me, totally overshadowed the rest of the album. Now, there were other songs on the album that did, stand out a little bit. These are the faint little twinkling stars that just kind of start appearing in your vision after you pan the night sky for a while. So Heathen, track number 3, I believe, stood out to me, but mostly because it's kind of funny. It's about a goat that eats leaves and then creates mead for Vikings. And there's even a goat bleat in the song. I thought that was funny too. I don't know if you noticed the goat bleat.
No, I did not know.
It's during the bridge. There's Johan's doing this kind of a talky part, and there's a goat bleat.
Huh.
And I was like, what the heck?
Honestly, that song, when I first heard it, I was just kind of like, okay, this is whatever. But then I noticed something about that song that actually is pretty cool. It's different. I feel like this album has a lot of variety to it. You have a lot of songs that'll sound like something different from another. It doesn't feel like, okay, every song is the same kind of Amon Amarth thing. You got, Heathen, you got Dawn of Norsemen, which is kind of a different vibe going on there. And then you have The Serpent's Trail, which is its own thing as well.
Serpent's Trail is the other one that stood out to me because it has a different vibe and different feel to it. But I found with this song, again, I hate to be nitpicky, it starts off good, it feels too long, it loses me about halfway through, and then I'm like, what is this? Just whatever.
I was about to mention that The Serpent's Trail sounds like it's a cool thing like this. And Amon Amarth does this with, I think, all their albums. They have a big, longer song to end the album. Cool, they have a big epic at the ending. But it's like, The Serpent's Trail is like you're walking up a mountain that doesn't end.
Yeah.
It's like you don't get to the top of that mountain. There's no climax. It's just kind of like the way the song starts, the entire song is like that, which kind of makes it feel like, okay, well, it's like we're building to something. Doesn't happen, but we're still building.
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the issues I have with the album. Is that last track is not really a good closer, to be honest.
It starts out as a good closer.
Yeah.
I really like the way it kicks off, and it kind of breaks into this really cool, more slower tempo, but really heavy hitting kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it just loses me. I don't know what it is. It just loses my attention.
What did you think of Odin Owns You All and Find a Way or Make One? Because I thought those are both pretty good songs.
You could probably name any other track on the album, and I have the exact same feeling about all of them. I really do. They're all very mid to low tier Amon Amarth for me.
Damn.
Yeah, unfortunately, even riff-wise, I feel like riffs took a bit of a back seat on here compared to what I know this band's capable of. But Saxons and Vikings were where my heart was at all week, man.
Well, I guess with that being said, let's rate this album. So, Vile, what do you give the Great Heathen Army?
I'm going to give the Great Heathen Army a 6. I don't, again, it's not a bad album, and a lot of that 6 score is because of Saxons and Vikings. It's such a powerful song. And maybe I'm bigging it up too much. Somebody might listen to it and go, "Oh, this is not that good," but I don't know. It got to me, man. I think it's epic as fuck.
I think it's definitely that
so,
good.
Unfortunately, though, yeah, a bit disappointed in this album, to be honest. I think it's one of their weaker ones of the last few years. But it's still decent, enjoyable to listen to. Amon Amarth is still a good band, so yeah, it's gonna get a 6.
Well, I'm gonna be honest about this album. As much as I've talked it up throughout this review, I've been struggling throughout the week to figure out what I wanted to rate it, in all honesty, because it's really good and it has really good highs, and I enjoy them quite a bit. And there aren't really that much in terms of lows, but it just makes me wonder, why are these 3 the ones that stand so tall over the others, and the others are just pretty good, but they don't reach those? And it makes me wonder if they could. I guess I have a similar feeling to you, just with more songs than just the one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and even though I kind of felt in my headspace right now that this was better than Berserker, and I look back at a review of Berserker, I gave that a toe tag. However, would I give Berserker a toe tag now? Perhaps not. And for this one, it's gonna get a 7.5. So a 6 from Vile and a 7.5 from myself, and that's all we got for you guys today. Remember to like the video if you liked it, and comment. Tell us in the comments below, what did you think about this album? It's been out for an entire week. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
I'm Fossil.
We'll see you guys later.